Hey, what's up, studs? Ryan here, M&R Productions, and welcome to episode 201 of the series where I answer your questions. If you have a question you want to answer on next week's episode, leave it down in the comment section below. If you want to hear me talk about Lego Clone Troopers, check out yesterday's video. I didn't get any questions about that for this one, so we won't be talking about them. Also, just judging from the comments on episode 200, I think a few of you guys need to get up to date on the vlog channel. So if you haven't subscribed to M&R Vlogs yet, definitely check it out, and check out the vlog I did where I got to hang out with Rod at Downtown Disney. Anyway, let's hop into it with our first question here from MagicTurtle123_. He says, what is your opinion as a major Call of Duty player on the Mega Construx COD line? By the way, love your vids. It was extremely awesome meeting you at Brick Fair, Virginia. Likewise, Mr. Magic Turtle. The Mega Construx COD line is actually very good. I think it's kind of underrated, mostly because it's not Lego, and I'm mostly a Lego purist, so I don't find myself super attracted to things that aren't actual Lego sets. But I've always kind of wanted the Nuketown set. Kind of surprised I never picked it up. But yeah, the Nuketown set is kind of the one set I would get if I was going to get one. Probably the coolest set, just by virtue of it being the biggest one, is the Hovercraft. I think that one was like $300. I think I remember seeing it at Toys R Us way back in the day. Absolutely absurd. But yeah, it was a pretty cool subline, which I think is pretty much dead at this point. It would certainly be cool if they made like Warzone style sets, but it looks like that's not going to be happening. But yeah, it's a pretty cool subline, one I wouldn't mind Lego picking up. Unfortunately, they don't do military stuff. Dinky Bricks says, do you think supply chain issues will affect Lego stock? Have a good Thanksgiving. I had a great one. Hope you did too. Absolutely. I mean, it kind of already is, I think. I think some sets are pretty hard to get right now. Some sets like the UCS AT-AT probably aren't coming back in stock until 2022. So if you didn't get one on the first day it was out, you're kind of SOL there, which is really unfortunate. But, the thing with the UCS AT-AT especially, I'm kind of deviating here. But, I saw someone make a really angry post about how Lego didn't give them the chance to get one. It was available on Lego.com for like 10 hours. I feel like everyone had the chance to get one. Anyway, the other day I ordered Papa John's, and I very acutely noticed the garlic knots weren't available, and one of my buddies that works for Papa John's delivered my pizza. I'm like, what's the deal? Where are the garlic knots? And apparently even my garlic knots are being affected by supply chain issues. So yeah, Lego is definitely going to be on the chopping block there. It's going to be very hard to come by as we grow nearer to Christmas, as it always is anyways, but very likely more so than in past years this year. Jackson Linnell says, do you have any trips planned to go to Atlanta Brickco anytime soon? My wife wants to visit Atlanta, but I want to make the trip worthwhile and meet you there. Great episode. Looking forward to the next 200 if you don't become disgruntled and completely quit Lego. I don't have anything in concrete right now, but there are two potential times I will be up in that area within the next month and a half. So first off, right after Christmas, I might go up to our house in Georgia for like a little break. And of course, as part of that, I would definitely make a trip to Atlanta Brickco and just like the Atlanta area or whatever. And then the bigger thing with this that is more likely going to happen, or is definitely going to happen, is I'm going to Brick Fair, Alabama. I cannot believe I just said that. I swore I would never go, and something came up that just made it extra fun to go, and so I think Sans and I are going to go for just like 3 days just to hang out and do things and whatever. But yeah, we'll be at Brick Fair, Alabama, and as part of that, we may as well, because it's only 2 hours over, might take a day or an afternoon and hop over there and back to check out Atlanta Brickco. So we'll see. I will definitely put out more information on like my Instagram story for sure, if not in one of these videos. Jedi Bob says, Ryan, you and I have been in the community for a long time. Me personally, I've been here since 2009. What's one thing you miss about the old Lego Star Wars community? Personally, I miss the stop motions. Old animations were awesome. So I guess on a real personal note, I miss some of my old friends, like Lego Teen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and Austin. I guess Austin's still around, but Lego Teen's gone. Pat's still here. Like, I just have a lot of old friends. Tom's still around, I guess. Sean's still around. I mean, I guess I talk to most of them, but I just miss like the old like friend group, and that's just a thing that's personal for me. More broadly speaking, certainly I miss when there was a time when stop motions were important to the community. Stop motions, in my opinion, are just not like part of the community anymore. It's much more commentary and review driven, and that's fine. Like, I think that's optimal, in fact. But yeah, there was just a time when Pizza Movies was dropping his next 501st stop motion, it mattered. And I don't know that there's someone out there that when they drop a stop motion anymore, it matters the same way that it used to matter with like someone like Pizza Movies. But that's just me personally. Maybe it's different for you, but I feel like Lego stop motion is just not what it used to be. It's definitely better, but from like a engagement perspective of like, are people talking about this? it doesn't seem like it. Golden Nasty says, with you living so close to the beach, do you ever get tired of it? I don't, because I almost never go, mostly because of my eye floaters at this point. It's really annoying to go to the beach with eye floaters, so yeah, I don't go often. As you can tell, I'm not very tan either, so if that wasn't obvious, I don't know what was. Crazy Badger says, is Lego the Apple of the toy world? They certainly are, and from what I know, or think I know, they think of themselves like Apple of the toy world, so that's something that they believe too. Unfortunately, Lego, unlike Apple, is unwilling to compromise on things that they realize they got wrong. See, Apple really effed up the MacBook Pro for the people that buy the MacBook Pros and the users of this particular item, this computer. We're very vocal about that because they took away all the good ports. They're like, you can only have USB-C because we know what's best for you. And, you know, Apple kind of doubled back on that with their new MacBook Pros. I'm still waiting for mine, FedEx, let's go. But, like, you know, they added back the SD card slot, they added back MagSafe, they added back the HDMI, and they made the computer thicker so it could have better battery and all this great stuff. And Lego seems unwilling to do that. So Lego is the Apple of the toy world, except not as good in my eyes currently. Mackie says, what are your thoughts on Captain Rex's wiring rumors? They are definitely fake. Captain Rex's wiring, while it would definitely be an amazing set, is not going to be coming out in the first half of 2022 as far as I'm aware. Anything you've seen about that at this point is 100% fake. It certainly could happen in the summer, but we're currently playing the game of, oh, maybe Lego will release it in the next wave, and you know how that goes. I'm not a fan of that game. It really sucks to have to wait so long to get anything pertinent from Clone Wars or Bad Batch. Like, Captain Rex's Y-Wing should have came out last summer, 3 months after the show was out, and then now we might get it a year and a half after the show comes out. That's just a little bit flawed to me. So yeah, we're really behind on that if it does even happen, and I don't have very high hopes that it will. Matthias says, awesome channel, love your content so much, keep up the good work. My question is regarding the LEGO Star Wars 75314 Bad Batch Shuttle. Really love the show, and the Marauder is my new favorite spaceship from Star Wars. I wanted to buy the set, but it has some problems, and it's a bit expensive for me. Do you think that we will get a better version of it in the near future, or will there be better options to get the Bad Batch minifigures? Should I wait or buy the set now? So for the first part of your question, will there be a better version in the near future? Almost certainly not. And the only chance at a better version would be a UCS version, which is also almost certainly not going to happen. So I would not put any faith in that happening. As far as better options to get the Bad Batch minifigures, I think the answer is unfortunately pretty clear on that as well. The first half of 2022 has 0 Bad Batch sets. So Lego clearly has no intention of giving us many other options to get the Bad Batch figures. I like that all of the Bad Batch figures are in one set though, so for someone like you, they can just go in and get one thing, even if it is $100 is going to be expensive for someone. Somewhere it sucks, but like it's still a fair way to end up with the 5 members of the Bad Batch, or minus Omega, of course. So like, I think you're doing pretty well there, and judging from your first name with the, I don't even know what the name of the apostrophes are or whatever, but like, you're probably not in America. And so, I saw it for $80, which is 20% off on Best Buy, I think, over Black Friday weekend. I don't know if you could find a similar deal elsewhere, but certainly in other countries there are other deals as well. I would just keep an eye on a sale. It's going to be available throughout the rest of next year, I think. So you should have some time to hopefully find it for cheaper if you're not trying to rush and get it. Gaming Gan says, when is the best time to buy the Luke Skywalker's lightsaber promo? Should I buy it now or wait longer? So I have this issue with this whole concept of like, should you buy it now or wait longer with promos like this? Because I don't understand it. Like maybe someone that's like an economics major can help me. But I think it's still going to depend, because later down the line, the price could go up anyway, and you just don't know. Because Yoda's lightsaber price recently skyrocketed from like $150 to $250. Like literally in like 3 days, it went from $150 to $250. Crazy. So if we look at something like Luke's lightsaber, it's currently going for about $150. You can get it for $150. I would say buy it now. Right now, the supply is the highest, but the demand is also the highest. And over time, the supply will go down, but so will the demand. But usually they go down in pretty even rates, so the price tends to stay the same. Prices on things like this don't go down unless Lego releases a lot more, usually. And from Yoda's lightsaber, we can tell that they're probably not going to release a lot more. I cannot, account for anything that's unforeseen, like Lego just saying, hey, we're going to release this for $20. They could always do something just absolutely crazy that we've never seen before, and you can't account for that. But as far as the historical context of it goes, I would buy it now. Bite the bullet. It's going to cost what it's going to cost. It sucks that it costs so much, but, you know, just buy it now while it's widely available and you have a lot of choices for price. Maybe make some offers on some, see if people will sell for cheap. Maybe check newly listed and refresh a few times throughout the day over the next week, see if you can find one for well under $150, but otherwise just be prepared to pay the price. If Jedi Bob were to theoretically make a comeback, what set would be a good one to put him in that isn't a Gunship? Well, Gunship would be a good set to put him in. I mean, I think he should just be a promo figure, and a pretty limited one at that. I mean, he should have been in the Gunship in a mystery box that's like fans' choice minifigure. Would have been by far the best way to do it, but they didn't do it. And I told the story before. I think Jedi Bob is coming. I told this on a live stream, so a lot of you probably haven't heard this, but essentially there was a secret meeting about Lego Star Wars that happened with some people, and on the flip side of that meeting, somebody came to me that usually doesn't talk to me, that doesn't follow me on Instagram. They basically asked me, like, if Jedi Bob were to come in a set, what set, or like, how would you want to see it released? And how do you think the greater fandom would want Jedi Bob to look? Should he be in his traditional robes, or should he be in an updated character with like new flesh tone skin? So yeah, I think he's coming. And it sucks because it's like the absolute worst make good they could do at this point, especially given the Cody situation with Cody being a phase 1 Cody instead of phase 2 Cody. They're literally, they know what they're doing. We all know they know. They can't be this dumb. I mean, come on. They know they're doing this, and they're doing it on purpose to not give the fans what they want. It's always half measures. All right, to answer your question, what would be a good one to put him in if they're gonna do it? I think he fits in a couple things. I think he fits fine as a promo minifigure with a little promo set or whatever. I think that works. I also think he'd go well with the great Geonosis Arena. He could be a really good figure for something like that as one of the random Jedi in the set that is defending against the battle droids that are attacking the Jedi as they're being encircled. You know, that could work too. I don't think they're going to make a Geonosis Arena. I don't think that's very realistic because LEGO doesn't want to make that because they don't care about the Geonosis Arena. They don't think it's as cool as we do. Whatever the case is there, you know, I just don't see a Geonosis Arena happening ever. Like, they just, it's whatever. But yeah, I think a promo, a Geonosis Arena, maybe an ATT from episode 2 would be a pretty good set to get a Jedi Bob in. I mean, I don't think there was a better set than the UCS Gunship though, and that's what the worst part about all of it is. Anything here would be an inferior inclusion that would make even less sense than the Gunship, because with the Gunship, you had you had the fallback of saying this was the fans' choice minifigure. Nobody could say a thing about how it's inaccurate because it doesn't matter because it's the fans' choice. And then with anything else, it's not, and it doesn't work as well. And so I don't know. I think it's going to happen eventually, but you know, it's very questionable as to how they would make it work, because a lot of those naysayers online say they can't do things, and you know, they tend to line up with that. Anyway, Mock Drop says, do you think that for all these live action Star Wars shows coming out, they should cast the original voice actors from the animated shows, or should they find new actors? I think this one's already been answered by The Mandalorian. They are very willing and able to find new actors. I don't even remember Ahsoka's actor name, but yeah, they did not get the same actor as they had the voice actor for Ahsoka. I do think it's a little bit weird because the voices don't match up, but that's fine. It's normal. You're going to get used to it. I think for me, it's important that Thrawn has the Lars or Mars Mikkelsen. I can't remember which one of them, but I really hope the voice actor for Thrawn is the actor for Thrawn whenever Thrawn shows up physically. But I don't think it's as important for every character. I think Thrawn's just one of those where the voice for me made it. Maybe that's different for you and you don't care, but you know, whatever. My point is, I don't really care which they do other than for Thrawn, as long as they, you know, make good casts that are the best people for the job and can really portray the character as well as they need them to portray the character. So, yeah, I think the answer is pretty clear, though. They'll do whatever they think is best there, and that they're not going to, you know, lock themselves into doing it one way or the other. Classify08 says, when are you reviewing the Batman sets? Yeah, man, that's a good question, because I don't know. I have been so behind after, you know, Thanksgiving break and everything's going on. I spent a lot of time building the Jedi Temple, got the UCS AT-AT to build. I've been outsourcing more and more of my building because I just don't have time to do it. So hopefully, you know, if Corey gets on winter break here somewhat soon, I can pay him to build them, or someone else, one of my friends in the area, I can pay to build them if Jared's around, whatever. But yeah, I definitely need to get on that, but it's just, dude, the 3 new Batman sets that I bought, I just have no time to build. They don't fit in my schedule. Anomaly 101 says, do you think there'll be more Hoth sets coming out to go up against the ATS team battle pack, like a Rebel battle pack and maybe a Rebel turret? So this guy's comment was written before the minifig pack rumor came out that one of them would be Hoth based, and so we have that, which is great. I think that is an awesome minifig pack to have. I still really think, you know, if you're going to do snowtroopers and Rebel snowtroopers, whatever, or Hoth Rebel troopers, you should have 2 battle packs that are widely available in every store for people to get and casual buyers to have and everything, because the problem with these minifig packs is that they are Lego Store and Lego.com exclusives. They are not as widely available. They are not as easy to get. You can't buy as many because Lego stores and Lego.com limits you pretty hard, and they're pretty harsh about that sort of stuff a lot of the time. So I'm not a fan of that from that perspective, to have an army builder be locked behind Lego trying to guard how many you can buy to build your army, which is just, it's a little backwards to me. I don't know about other Hoth sets. It seems like, how far can you spread this Hoth thing? I guess forever, because they do a lot of Hoth stuff every year. But, like, I don't know. You had the 2020 AT-AT come out summer 2020. You had the UCS AT-AT come out late 2021. A lot of Hoth sets coming out early 2022. Do you have more Hoth sets coming out summer 2022? Like, I wish it was all a little bit more consolidated, is kind of my point there. But if for whatever reason they have the ability or willingness to stretch it out a little bit more to next summer, I mean, a Snowspeeder would be the obvious choice here. I would love the Snowspeeder to come with the, I guess, the cylindrical tall white turret, if you know what I'm talking about. I really liked that one. It was in the 7749 Hoth set from 2009 that I really liked. It's just one of my favorite Hoth turret designs. I guess there's really only two, right? But I mean, I still love that Hoth turret, and I think that would make a great addition to a Snowspeeder. We haven't had that paired in with the Snowspeeder before, so I just feel like that would look pretty cool. But the only other thing that would make a lot of sense to me is some type of Hoth Echo base with the doors and everything, because we definitely need that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's definitely being spread a little wide here with all the Hoth stuff. Like, I wish it had just been all contained in one go, but, we'll see what they do for the summer line. Young CJ says, do companies still make a profit if they sell Lego at 50% off? Does Lego sell their product at a discount to other stores like Walmart or Target? So, of course, Lego sells their products at a discount to stores like Walmart or Target. That's how retail stores work. But when something's 50% off, they are not making a profit on it for Lego specifically. Nothing of my knowledge applies to any other products in their stores, but typically if it's 50% off, it's also clearance, and they just want to get rid of it no matter if they're losing money. Lego Star Wars specifically, I think stores receive a 30% discount from the retail price, so their profit margin is 30% minus, the shipping cost from Lego to the retailer, which is sometimes significant, and then also minus, what it costs the store to pay their employees and keep the lights on and all that stuff. So their profit margins end up being a lot slimmer. But essentially, licensed product like Star Wars get a 30% off retail discount or profit margin, just as a general baseline. And then I think Lego City and Lego Ninjago get like 35%, and then anything else unlicensed like Creator gets 40%. So it starts to give you an idea how a Lego store, and it's interesting too, because you look at a Lego store on Black Friday, hardly any discounts, and at that only 20%. But a Lego store has a way better profit margin than Walmart or Target, because they don't, they have the 40% discount that Walmart and Target get, plus they have really, plus probably another 20 or 30% that it actually costs Lego to make the product. But yeah, it's definitely a better profit margin for them, but they don't drop their prices low just so that Target and Walmart and Toys R Us, I guess, formerly KB Toys as well, formerly just all these retailers can duke it out with their own pricing. Lego, I saw a lot of complaints that Lego had really bad Black Friday deals and really bad Cyber Monday deals, and I agree. They had terrible deals, if you want to call them deals at all. But they don't really need to have good deals, because all these other stores have way better deals than they would ever offer anyway. So that's just the way I look at it. Next up from Aaron, he says, do you feel that Lego artificially inflates piece counts in their sets? For example, using 2 1x2 plates when a single 2x2 plate would suffice. Thanks, love the channel, and seeing you at Brickford, Virginia. Dude with the Lego Star Wars t-shirt. So this has been a theory of mine for a while, and while I don't know if it's entirely intentional, it definitely happens. And it's why I try to tell people not to put too much stock into piece count all the time, because it can be artificially inflated just as easily as it can be artificially deflated. They could have easily used, a bunch of small panels on the Star Destroyer, and then all of a sudden your 4,700 piece set is a 6,700 piece set for the same exact price. And then people are like, oh, the price per piece is great. But it really, see how arbitrary something like that can be. It kind of gives you a new view on the value of Lego. It's less about the exact number of pieces, more about just your perceived value. Do you like the ship? Does it look like it's big enough to be worth the money? Because the Star Destroyer is almost as big as the Falcon. It's way less pieces, but it's almost as big as the Falcon. How could that be? Well, because piece count isn't everything, and that's important. But yeah, they definitely have times where they can slightly inflate and deflate the piece count depending on what they probably want to do and what pieces are available. So yeah, I don't think it's like a malicious thing at this point. I haven't seen anything that would point me in that direction to be like, oh, they're going out of their way to use a bunch of really small pieces. I think in general they use a lot more smaller pieces now just because that's the trend. But I don't see a lot of places where they could just go and use bigger pieces and it looked just as good as it did before. So yeah, I think the small pieces thing is definitely a thing. I don't think it's malicious though. Christian Logan says, I've been collecting Lego Star Wars since the early 2000s and many of my sets have been sitting on shelves for years and have accumulated a lot of dust. Do you have any tips on how to clean them in an efficient yet effective way? If your sets are old, and, you know, because I've got a lot of old sets too, the condition of them might be beyond just dusting as well. You might have some creaky pieces, you might have some really scratched up pieces, but the efficiency of it is tough. At some level, if you really want to clean everything, you got to get down in between all the studs, and that's just going to take you a lot of time. I've done it before. It's not ideal. It's why I'm trying to make the move to buying all new sets and then straight into glass display cases, or right now they go into plastic bins just where they stay completely dust-free for all of eternity until I can put them into the glass display cases. So I would suggest, if you are going to go through and clean your entire collection the way you want to, have a display set up, prepared, you know, invest a little bit of money to save yourself some time later down the line, unless you just enjoy dusting, whatever, that's your prerogative at that point. But, you know, my suggestion here, you know, get some glass display shelves, set them up, and then as you're dusting, put things into the display shelves, and you're good to go. They won't get dusty again, hopefully. I would Google into, like, the best display shelves for that, because I don't even know what to tell you for that, but, like, look into that. But I would suggest some type of microfiber cloth, or I think, something that you use to, like, buff cars with. Like, it's just got a lot of soft, fibery ends that can kind of get in and around between pieces and not scratch them and stuff. Like, you can't, like, I feel like when I used to dust with, like, socks, I'd just scratch the dust, and it would scratch the plastic, and, you know, micro scratches, they'll accumulate over time and start to look bad. But yeah, I would suggest doing something like that, and I wish you the best of luck. Luke says, managed to snag myself the UCS AT-AT on release day, looking forward to it arriving. In the UK, when it was first announced, the set was £750 and $800. However, at some point between the announcement and the release, the UK price dropped to £700, while every other region's price stayed the same. Thought it was really strange of LEGO to do something like that, almost as if they made a typo. Has something like this ever happened before? As far as I'm aware, revealing a set at a price, let's say £750 for just your specific scenario, and then before it releases, dropping the price to something lower, has never happened. I have never seen it, and I've been following LEGO Star Wars for quite a while, and just LEGO in general. Maybe someone that knows more will comment down below and tell us that we're wrong. But, yeah, pretty crazy. I'm still not exactly sure why. I did notice a lot of people were complaining that when it was announced at $750, that it was way too expensive, and that it was more expensive than the Falcon was and all this stuff. But the Falcon, when it came out, hasn't had the 4 years of inflation added to its price tag, so it's a lot closer than it seems, I think. For people that aren't thinking ahead as well, you know, inflation is going to continue to tack on to the valuation of this price, and LEGO will continue to lose out on that if this set is available for a long time. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, in a couple years, if this AT-AT is still out, you see that price jump back up that $50 again that they took off for you there. So yeah, good for the people that were planning on buying it in the UK and ended up getting $50 off what LEGO was going to charge you for it. But definitely an odd situation. It feels like, you know, I've never seen this before. It's just weird that they would plan this price out a year in advance, I'm sure, and then all of a sudden drop it $50 on the drop of a hat right when they're about to release it. Just odd all around. Darth Bear says, I've been looking into trying to get an Ewok Village or Betrayal at Cloud City as I missed out on them when they originally released. Would you say it's better to buy used or new sealed, as there's a huge gap in price? If you're concerned about the price, man, used is 100% the way to go. It's going to be the exact same set. It will ultimately probably be in a somewhat lesser condition. It might not even be something you are able to perceive, though, so I don't see it as a lose here. I would definitely read the description of an item if you're going to buy it used. Look carefully at the pictures. Buy it on somewhere where you can look at pictures like eBay or Mercari and make sure you can see everything. If you have questions, ask the seller for more pictures. Usually they'll provide them for you, and just make sure that it looks good to you, because you don't want to buy something used and have it show up in crappy condition, and then forever you're stuck with this crappy version of this thing that you wanted a good version of. So yeah, just do a little research, but definitely go for saving the money on the used version there. I'll give you the SparkNotes version of this question, but you can read the full thing if you want. I'll leave it up here for an extra few seconds so you have time to read. But essentially, Asher here wants to buy a Republic gunship, and he has a few options he's laid out for us. One, buy the 2013 version, which is expensive. Buy the Republic Bricks version of the gunship, the classic version at that. buy the UCS Gunship or wait for LEGO to release another playset version. So the concept that I've been pushing in the last few weeks in these videos is this idea to set a date for yourself. And basically it's like, I will wait until this day, and if LEGO has not released a new Gunship by this day, I will go with one of my other options that I have predetermined to be the best option for me. And I think you should set a date for yourself, that date being August 1st of next year. If there is not a UCS gun, or another Gunship, not a UCS one, another Republic Gunship by August 1st of next year, go ahead and go with option 1, 2, or 3. And we'll go through, in my opinion, what I think is going to be the best for you here. But I think you should wait until August 1st because it's a potential that there could be one in the summer wave. I'm just saying you shouldn't go out and pull the trigger now. If the summer wave next year comes and goes without a Gunship, I don't think buying a Republic Bricks Classic Gunship is the option. I think buying custom sets like that, typically, in my opinion, like if you're going to buy a Republic Bricks Gunship, I would much more recommend something like a Munilus 10 version of Gunship. Something LEGO doesn't make is what I think these custom companies are really best for. So I would cross that option off for you there. I also would avoid paying so much money for that 2013 version at that point. And really that leaves your option with the UCS version. Plus it's just the biggest version. It is inherently going to be your best value as far as how much you're getting for the price, given that a custom version can't compete with LEGO's pricing, and a retired version is going to be worth way more than MSRP as well. And, yeah, so the UCS Gunship, as much as I don't love the figures, is going to be your best option there, in my opinion, come August of next year. I know it's a long wait, but if you want to be optimal about the strategy, it's probably the way to go. Final question from Iron Goss here. He says, what are your thoughts on cutting, gluing, and sanding down little LEGO parts for custom minifigs and minifig accessories? I've seen it done before and have done it myself for custom lightsabers and guns. 100%, man, go for it. It's for your collection. It doesn't affect anyone else. It's not their LEGO that you're cutting and gluing and doing things that they might not want done to it. You can do what you want with your stuff. I don't have a strong opinion on it one way or the other. I think if it's improving the experience for you, you should do it. It's not harming anybody, so yeah. And on top of that, some of my friends, Legomatic 9, Michael MGF, do a lot of amazing custom minifigures that kind of go the extra mile as far as what they add on to minifigures to make them look extra accurate. So yeah, definitely go for whatever you think is best and helps you enjoy the hobby in a way that you enjoy. So thank you guys so much for watching episode 201 of Ask M&R. If you guys enjoyed, hit the like button, hit the channel, subscribe, and if you have a question you have for next week's episode, leave it in the comment section below. Peace out.